What it do, my peoples, man? Listen, it's your boy Lambo Drew, man, and you tonight are on the Lambo Drew Leverage. So shout out to you guys, man, for tapping in each and every single week to the Leverage Show, man, and showing us, man. I tell you, my voice all week this night. Tonight, don't be somebody. Think man, call you just be there for a couple minutes. But yeah, I say my voice, just you guys tonight. You guys already what I've been doing with it. Thankful for tonight, just to be on this platform and dealing with what I do. Look, we got something big tonight, so you really better make sure that you share the video. Share. I know y'all hit the share button. Make sure y'all share it to your mama, share it to your grandma, share it to your friends, your cousins, your coworkers, everybody in this family, your downline, your dog. Go ahead and log in. Even the cat log in. Get that YouTube channel. Get the cat to go ahead and log in. So whatever you need, make sure you guys get this channel and log in on this channel, man. Okay, so look, let's see what's going on, man. Y'all hear me well? Let me know if everybody's hearing me well on the broadcast. Huh? Everybody's hearing me well. Happy Tuesday. Shout out to you, LA Law. Shout out to you. WLC tax say the bad connection is frozen. I don't know what's going on. The bad connection. Wow. Let me see. Y'all is still bad connection. Can y'all hear me? Let me know. Let me know what's good. It's breaking up. Okay. Oh wow. Wow. So I wonder why we glitching on our end like this. This is okay. Yeah, listen, let me go ahead and do this and keep it moving and stuff. Okay, how am I doing? I'm doing good or what? It's good now? Y'all let me know. What's good? Y'all can hear me or what? Is it much better? Let me know. Hopefully y'all can hear. I don't know what's going on. We don't usually try to have these things. So everybody can hear me? All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys so much. Loud and clear. I see y'all coming in. It's good now. Wagner say much better, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to JT in the building, man. It's much better now. Okay, man. We got to make sure it's right. We got my guy Jarrell on here. So we're going to make sure it's right tonight, man. Y'all really want to go ahead. We're going to bring the heat, man. We're going to make sure we bring it well. WLC, everybody says good. My big brother, shout out to you, man. Dave says loud and clear. Shout out to Jamal Titus. Jamal Titus, I can hear you. Good. Well, listen, tonight, man, I really want to go on ahead, man, and don't want to go ahead and get this any further. Let me know what's going on with the broadcast to see what's really good. I see my guy just went out. We getting ready to see something going on now. Jarrell just turned around and going out. So shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to my guy Tracy in the building, man. My guy. Shout out to David Williams, man. My brother, man, doing what he do. Shout out to Cynthia Davis doing what you do, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for all tuning in tonight, man, for this broadcast. So I think my guy Jarrell has he's backstage and everything, man, doing some stuff, man. Probably gonna go in and out on his end. So let me know. Completely stopped here. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Let me see, y'all. Let me see. So me and Jay, we talking right now and stuff like that. You know, so I guess we're in here, man, right now. Y'all let me know if y'all put some thumbs up. See if y'all can hear me and stuff like that. How am I feeling? Y'all can hear me or what? Talk to me. Because I'm getting a few different mixed ones. Okay. Bet. Okay, so yes, what happens is it just booted and everything, man. My guy, don't worry about it. Jay will be back in the building. So y'all gonna hear my voice just a little bit, man, before we bring my guy Jarrell in the building. Shout out to you, Mr. Kennard Haney, man, in the building, man. It's glitching again, y'all. Y'all see it's glitching again? What is going on here tonight? I don't want it to be glitching like this, man. Huh? It's good. It's glitching. Let me know if it's glitching. How do you feel? Y'all can hear me? Jay, you can hear me? I know you're in the background. I know you good? Thumbs up? Yeah, he good. Okay, so yeah, Listen, we are all good. We're not going to go on ahead, man, and get to this broadcast and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Don't worry about it. We getting ready to bring my guy in. And we're going to make some stuff happen, man, tonight. We're good. Shout out to Amos in the building, man. My God, my home team, man, back there, man. Getting it in, man. Showing some love, man, on here tonight, man. Shout out to your gaming Cynthia, man. We good. My baby said we good. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Video is not as clear as usual. That is weird. Weird. Look, don't worry about it. We're gonna sit back in here. We're gonna roll through this tonight. So we're gonna make sure we get this to happen. It's still glitching. Steve O, shout out to my guy. Steve O in the building, man. Still, hold on 1 second, y'all. Good. Make sure we ain't glitching, man. I don't want to be glitching around here. All right. All right, well, listen, tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the guy in anyway. If we glitch it, I'm pretty sure I don't know if it's in mine or his in, but we get ready to find out right now real quick. Usually, sometimes when it's like that, it's probably on the hosting. So tonight, we're going to bring Jarrell in. We're going to allow him to just talk with you guys, man, just for a minute. If you guys who have not subscribed, man, to Bank with Jarrell, I'll definitely want to go ahead and subscribe to Bank with Jarrell, man. This guy right here is really putting in serious work, man, out there, man. So you make sure you guys, man, get a hold of subscribe now, man. Literally, man, listen to all of his great videos, great content he's got coming out. I mean, just on a daily basis, he's really made a foothold out here. So you guys, man, without further ado, I want to welcome my guy, Jarrell, to the broadcast, man. Before we go any further, here we go. Hey, what's good, man?
What's going on? What's going on, Lambo Drew? How you feeling, man?
Life is good, man. Do what we do best, man. Talk to me, man. Tonight, man, you are in the building. You are definitely in here. Still hear people saying, man, it's glitching or whatever, man. Don't worry about it. We'll keep rocking and rolling. I'm a little on in, but I want people to kind of hear from you tonight about who Jarrell is, man, and how did Jarrell start, and where did Jarrell really start from, my friend?
So for me, of course, my journey started in the pandemic. I was already tied into a few different things in the network of people that had been involved in gifting circles. Some of you may be familiar with that era that went on during the pandemic and different things of that nature. But crypto was also always something that I was kind of interested in, but didn't know exactly how to benefit from. I remember buying crypto when I had my first apartment, and I probably held it for 3 weeks and sold it. You know, that was how I treated crypto at the time. But I had a network come to me, and they were like, hey, man, and I've done network marketing since I was 19. So that's kind of pretty much my background. But I had somebody come to me and say, hey, take a look at this crypto platform, right? And I was like, okay, well, let me take a look. And my father was the one that really introduced me into crypto. So I was like, hey, Dad, is there something like a smart contract or something that can pay you a percentage a day? Is that something that happens? Is that something that's even, even possible? And he's like, yeah, I've heard of some stuff like that before. He didn't have much information on it, but he'd heard of smart contracts and different things of that nature. So if that platform was called Watermine. Some of you may have heard about Watermine before. And that was my very first platform. So I got in, it was about February, and I had just fell in love with the concept of making 2-3%, in between, 2 and 2.6% a day. I was like, there's no way a bank is going to do that for you. And we're talking about crypto. We're talking about something that is at the pioneer stage, or something that we're just getting started in. So I wanted to take a look. So I was in Watermine for a few months. It actually lasted till about June. Around June 1st is when it went away. And I had gotten to where I had put like $30,000 in. I had no idea it was going to go away. I didn't know the culture of the space. I didn't understand that platforms come and go. So this was my first platform. I had put just about everything I made into this platform. And I got to the point where I was making about $1,000 a day withdrawable. And it was amazing. And then the platform went away. And some of you know how that feels. You're like, okay, oh, man, I just spent all the time talking to people about it. I had, got my friends and family involved. I thought it was going to work out. I set goals for myself. I had even spent money before I had it. You know what I'm saying? We've all been there before. And I had to make a decision. I was like, okay, if this is something that lasted for 3 months, either this is something that has been going on, there are other platforms like this, or there are other platforms coming based off of this. So I made the decision after a few of my colleagues told me that I need to go ahead and start a YouTube channel because at that point I was making over $1,000 a day. So I was like, I need to share this with people. And I started a YouTube channel, and the rest is history from there, man. We really just started finding platforms. We started off in the hype space, these platforms that are literally here today and gone tomorrow, just expressing the risk, but taking the risk at the same time. And we started getting a following, finding these platforms. We've had some platforms that have done better than others. I'll definitely say that. We've lost tens of thousands of dollars worth of crypto, but we've made so much more in not only crypto, but in just gaining relationships and just meeting people that are also in this space, that have been in this space for a while. And some of them have just joined the space just based off what they've been able to see on the journey that I'm taking. And it's just been this, it's been just that. It's just been a journey. I don't tell anybody what to do with their crypto. I just show them what I'm doing with mine. And that has been what we have done for the last year now. It's actually been officially a year since I started the YouTube channel, and we're just over 12,000 subscribers. Is really awesome. The amount of growth that we've been able to experience here at BOJ, and we're just blessed, man. We're excited, and this is just the beginning. We're just getting started. So I'm excited about it, and that's my story, man. That's my story.
Man, we love hearing that, man. Jay, I'm not lying to you. That is really an amazing testament, man, what you have done and what you're doing out here in this space. But see, you got to know that everybody thinks that this thing is just, it's boom, here it goes. And it's really something that becomes a craft. You have to have your craft at this thing. You have to learn to master your craft.
That's right.
So, you talked about the hype base. For those who don't know, what is a hype? Get a breakdown of hype and allow us to know, for those who don't know what a hype is, I've lost some serious money in hypes over the past, Genius funds. I tell everybody about that years ago, pretty much wiped out everything for me, man. But yes, literally go on ahead, man, and make sure that you let the people know what is a hype. What does a hype consist of, rewards, and what does a hype actually do, man? For real. Shout out to my guy Doc in the building, man.
So a hype, man. Oh man, a hype is something that you when you look at it, you're excited about it. The returns that it gives you, the ability to make 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 10, 12% a day, based on whatever you decide to put in. We know how these platforms work. But a hype is literally built to rob Peter to pay Paul. And it's almost a timing thing. If you're not getting in a hype in the first few days of being in a hype, most chances are you haven't gotten to the black at the end of the hype when the hype goes away. It's something that feeds off of momentum. It's something that feeds off of promotion. It's something that feeds off of not anything really sustainable. It's just there to make those that are aware of it in the early stages a quick dollar. And sometimes, depending on how you decide to play the game, referral commissions can make you a lot of money as well. But it's not meant for sustainability. It's meant for a quick hit, and it's really just for the developer to make money. Whoever developed the hype, it's really just for them to make money. They usually have a set date that they're here to, depending on growth, they'll be here today and gone tomorrow. And we thrived off of hypes for a little while because I was a new person in the space. A lot of people that were watching me were new in the space. And not to say we were taking advantage of that, but I was joining hypes because that was all I had exposure to. That was the only thing I had exposure to. So Some of the people would see how well I did in other hypes, and they'd hit me up and say, hey, you know, consider joining this hype over here. And then you start meeting people that develop hypes, and they're not meant for sustainability. They're just there for a quick buck for those of you that are willing to play the game. And playing the game involves not only getting in early, but sharing the opportunity. That really is what gets a lot of people that are successful in hypes. That's what gets them the bulk of their money. There's a lot of they call them monitors. And these monitors, their sole job is to find these hypes and do documentation on them, whether they're paying or not. You know, some of these monitors offer insurance, which is crazy, because how can you insure something that's going to go away? You know it's going to go away. So all that to say, a hype is a very, 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 very high risk way to grow your crypto. You must be prepared to lose whatever you put in the hype at any time. But sometimes that's just the game we play. I rival it to going to the casino. You never want to take your rent money to the casino. You never want to take mortgage money, Gerber money, no baby food money, none of that. This is not what you bring to hypes or any platform for that matter, but especially hypes, because the majority of people that join hypes, like you said, you said you've lost the money in some hypes, and that's what happens to the majority of people. They lose in hypes. So, and that just happened to be the space that gave me my introduction to the platform space. It's almost a rite of passage to have to go through a hype and lose some money to get to the good stuff. So I just want to mention that. But yeah, that's what a hype is, man. It's funny business sometimes, but it can be lucrative at the same time.
Man, yeah, that hype is, dude, they make some crazy returns. I found out, y'all guys, what's going on. For those who don't know why it's been dropping like this, we're going through a rainstorm here, man, in Denver. So it's really bad, man. It's coming down, man. So
you're crystal clear now, man. I don't know what you did in the break, but
dude, I'm still. So there's this little monitor. You know how it is, man. It kind of lets you know your little internet man on top of there. And I was just like, I seen that when the broadcast started. I said, "Oh boy, here we go." Yeah. And I kept in here, kept trying to figure it out. I said, "Man, there's got to be something going on." And then I'm like, "Oh man, there's a rainstorm going out here, man."
Yeah.
And which Denver usually doesn't rain much. So yeah. you guys, that's why you guys are usually hearing us on here loud and clear, man. So shout out to you, man, you guys, man, on here. But yeah, shout out to you. That was a great definition of a hype. And for those who don't know, HYIP stands for a high yield interest platform.
Yes.
And those hypes, man, or there's something else. Again, they can turn around and they can either make or break you. You get in, you get out.
Yep.
But there are some good ones that you actually talk about on your channel that have been performing well. Yep. For those who are interested in, learning about hypes, or for some hypes that are out there, which ones could you actually tell them? And kind of let them know, like, man, these ones are doing pretty well, especially some ones you see are not paying out. So give them the rundown, man, and don't hold back, Jarrell.
All right, so here's where I am with hypes, and this has been a growing process for me personally. With starting out in hypes, letting everyone know the risk on my channel, I say, look, I'm very unapologetic about letting people know, look, never put anything in these platforms that you are not willing to lose, period. I don't care if you hear me say it 50,000 times. I'm going to say it 50,001. You never want to put anything that you're not willing to lose. And you have to keep that mindset throughout the hype. I honestly have stopped joining hypes for a period of time. And there's a reason why I did that. I was bringing so much attention to these hypes, as well as some of the long-standing platforms, of course. But I was bringing so much attention to these hypes that they were able to survive long enough to just pay me and not pay nobody else. And I got so frustrated with that process of having to do a video. And I'm not afraid to do a video when a platform closes down, because that's the reality of the space. Platforms close down. But I was not afraid to do them. I got really tired of having to tell people that the day after that they just joined the platform that it's gone, even though I let them know the risk, even though, so there's a lot of platforms that are out here right now that are hypes that are still paying. I can't say that I'm a part of them, but there are a few called, like, Revelates is one, and There's another one that starts with an A. It's Allfin or something like that. I'm forgetting the name right now. But I'd say the hypest, the most hypish platform that I'm in right now is probably Pegasus, right? Pegasus is at about 1.5% a day. And trust me, there was a time where I wouldn't touch a 1.5 a day. When I was first starting this platform space, if it wasn't paying at least 3% a day, I didn't touch it. And I'm talking 7 days a week, not just 5. And that was just me not necessarily knowing that there was other longer term platforms that were built for sustainability. They were getting referred to me, but when you get somebody telling you, oh, 3% a week after you've been making 10% a day for the last 2 weeks, you ain't really trying to hear nothing about no 3% a week, but that's where I started. I had to kind of mature in this space and understand that these hypes will take advantage of you, especially if you have a following. If you have a following, if you have any kind of influence, they're going to be hitting you up like, hey, man, can you promote our project? And that's the reality of this space. And just like any business, anybody would want someone of high influence to promote their product. But this product is literally meant to come around, look nice for a little while, and leave us all. And depending on time and whatever their time frame is, they don't make it obvious when their time frame is. But of course, we have what we call red flags, right? We have things that they do that we see, and we're like, okay, if we see something like that, then we know it's coming on the tail end. So as just to kind of back up to the question you asked, the hypes that I would promote or talk about, I don't have too many. Pegasus might be hype-ish. I don't know that I put it in the hype category because it's been around for months now, and hypes don't usually last for months. Hypes are here today and gone in a month, a couple weeks. They're giving such high returns that are not sustainable, that they can't last very long. It's just not realistic. But there are a few platforms out here that are hype-ish, but the goal is to find something that's better than the bank. And all of these platforms that are paying are better than the bank. So it just depends on what your risk management and your tolerance level for risk is. Because these hypes, man, they'll do you dirty, and they don't care who you are. They don't care what kind of influence you have. They just know that if you can bring some people in for them, great. They'll holler at you. If you can't, then usually you're taken advantage of from a passive income level. We've had some hypes be successful, but it got to a point where in the last 4 or 5 months, hypes were like blatantly going away early. So I decided personally that I was going to do a case study, right? I'm kind of doing a case study. What is the nature of hypes without BOJ? What do hypes look like without me? Do they last 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Do they last a couple months, or do they peter out in a week or so because they can't get the support that they were once getting? So I'm kind of doing a case study with hypes right now, but I'm more interested now in my journey in those platforms that have legs. They have something that is sustainable, that is going to allow us to talk about it for a long time. So that was a long answer to that question, but that's where I am in the state of hypes right now.
Dude, I'm going to try this. I see that I got my little internet going, so I may be glitching a little bit. But you did great, man. I enjoyed that definition of hypes real quick. I tried to get this to him before it starts glitching again to get you back on the screen. We make it work, y'all, so y'all got to bear with us tonight. We're making it work. Listen, a lot of people, man, they're very, intrigued, man, about just investing, period, man. I mean, what was I know you said, man, one part of the influence was your dad getting you into crypto and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about that, Jay. Let us know exactly what did he show you, or was it something that he needed to say, hey, Jay, I want you to research this or something like that, man. I for those who are out there who may be novice, definitely they probably would love to hear that, man.
Yeah. So, and it was funny that you brought this up, because my father, he's in his, I won't give his age, but he's over 60, right? And he has always been a person that was involved in the stock market, involved in these different markets that were enable us as a home to make some passive income outside of our, outside of work. So when he came to me about crypto, it was pretty much all XRP talk. It was all XRP all the time. But he was like, Jarrell, you got to start looking into these digital assets because that is going to become something that is going to be talked about all over the world. It's already being implemented. We're already hearing about Bitcoin and what it's done. And this was just a couple years ago. This was just maybe 2 years ago. So when he talked to me about crypto, I was like, okay, Dad, I'll buy some Bitcoin. As a son, you wanna do your best to honor your dad, and he's been providing for us as a family this whole time. So there's a reason why he is where he is. So me trying to be where he is, you listen. You wanna catch some game when you can get it. But when it came to this platform space, it was me bringing it to him. Now, he had told me invest in some crypto like XRP, and then comparing XRP price to some stock market shares. You're getting a lot more XRP. If you know what XRP is and you've done some research on XRP, you can understand why a lot of people are excited about that specific coin. But I just decided to go ahead and buy some Bitcoin and just be a part of the trend and be able to say, oh yeah, I got some Bitcoin, whatever. But that was at a time in my life where I really didn't have extra income to be continuously buying Bitcoin, like dollar cost averaging, buying when it's low, selling when it's high. I was at a point where I was struggling to pay my bills. I was living pretty much paycheck to paycheck in my own apartment. And it got to the point where I had to sell my Bitcoin to pay rent. I'm gonna be honest with you. I sold some Bitcoin that I had bought at around $6,000. And we all know where Bitcoin is right now. It may have been a down market in the last week or so, 2 weeks or so, but I had bought Bitcoin when it was around $6,000. And I sold it maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks later because I had to buy rent. I had to pay rent. So there was no applicable way that I could use this coin. I couldn't use it. I didn't do the research to find out what was out there. It wasn't until I got introduced to this platform space that I really got reinvigorated about what crypto can do in my own life. But my dad is the one that stayed on me about it. He just said, man, you need to just do some research about it. Coinbase, they give you free crypto for just taking or watching a few videos about crypto. He was really into that, and he still is. So I definitely credit him for getting me involved. And I was telling you earlier that age ain't nothing but a number when it comes to crypto. If you want to learn about crypto, it does not matter how old you are. You can be a part of crypto. Now these platforms, they tell you, hey, be 18, be responsible, be an adult about your decisions, because that's a risky space. And if you're a kid out here playing in risky spaces, that may not be too good for you. But as adults, we all have choices to make. And as a person that was trying to figure out life, just trying to figure out what I was going to do, I'm not a college graduate or anything like that. I'm a high school graduate and I'm a musician. So I was trying to figure it out. And during the pandemic, being a musician was probably one of the hardest things to be, because all of our gigs got canceled. Everything. It didn't matter what we had. It could have been an event at somebody's church where they frying fish. They canceled that. So it was a time where we were trying to figure out what we were going to do. This platform space showed up at the perfect time. And my father was the one that pretty much validated for me that these things could be possible. And that's all I needed. I just needed a voice to say, this is possible. And I got that from my dad. And then the rest was history from that. I just decided to go on my own journey and figure some stuff out for myself. And now we're here where we are. So I hope that answers your question. I know we got some long-winded answers from me today.
Hey, I'm loving it because I'm glitching on my end over here.
That's all right. That's all right. I got your back, man. I got your back.
Thank you, BLJ, for he understanding the assignment and working with the game plan. Thank you, sir.
That's right. That's
Well,
right.
listen, talk to man. Listen, we gonna hit a hot button right now, man. We at this market. We want to hit it right now. You talked about man, some of the investments and stuff like that, man, that you were doing, and we talked about, what is a hype and all of this good stuff. But let's talk about some of the big losses, especially this big one that turned around and got everybody upset behind the ear. This Eminifx.
Oh man.
Let's talk about that, Jarrell. And I want you to
Yeah.
give them the full rundown, what you have seen, what you reached out, contact, all your information. Give it to them, man, and don't hold back.
All right, let's do it. So starting from the initial questions, talking about my losses, right? I have lost. I haven't done a tally on this because I'm afraid that if I do a tally, I might stress myself out. But before I say this, just know that I've made way more than I've lost. And that is solely because I'm willing to share my experiences with YouTube. And I'll be honest about that. Referral commissions about showing your journey and all that different stuff is fantastic over time. However, I have lost tens of thousands of dollars. And let's be real, I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. As a matter of fact, as we get started talking about Eminifx, Eminifx was something that was brought to me, and God bless her. She's an awesome upline. I won't put her name out there, but shout out to her. She knows who she is. She's an amazing upline, and she was just wanting to show me something that had been working for her for so long and had been working for so many other people. And that's the reality of the space. Sometimes these platforms, they can work just long enough to really gain the trust of the community that's a part of them. And that happens, it's just a part of the space. We don't want to fall in love with platforms, but sometimes platforms are just so good to us, they make us feel so good. We can't help but have a little bit of a soft spot for them, if not a little bit of affection, if not a little bit of love. So Eminifx was one of those platforms. When I saw it, I wasn't, at the time that I first saw it, I wasn't impressed, and it was solely because of the returns every week. I was at a space in time where I was looking at daily returns, and I was not interested in weekly returns. I was only interested in weekly returns in one platform, and I literally joined that platform to support a friend that I had met in the space that is also doing some amazing things in the space on YouTube as well, the G Trader. So shout out to him. But when Eminifx came around and I started really doing some research, I was impressed. Eddie Alexandre impressed me with his demeanor, the way he spoke to the people, the way he was very unapologetic about what Eminifx was. And it's an investment club. It's something that is here for the people. He allowed people to come to his office, and he did a presentation for them of the office. I was impressed by all of this stuff. And at the end of the day, I had invested over $100,000 in a meeting. It was at a time where I was making some pretty good money in some other platforms, and I'm all about diversification. I'm never putting all my chickens into one basket, all my eggs in one basket. Never doing that. So I was impressed enough to put over $100,000 in this platform. It seemed like the day after I did that, I get news that he's been arrested. And in New York, I hear, and I don't quote me on this, but I hear that's one of the toughest places on crypto right now. And with what he was doing and the culture of this space, and of course, let's keep it funky. He's a black man that has made a lot of money, and he's in America. So the chips are already stacked against those people, period, no matter what. All right. That's just my truth. I know that to be a fact. But Eddie apparently was not doing what he was saying he was doing. Now, of course, all of this is still under investigation. All of the things are alleged. I've heard that he's on bail now and a few other different things. But I really had a high belief level in Eminifx, and it was coming at a time where another platform that I was in, IPC, was going through and still is going through a bunch of issues that told me I need to just forget about that and to move on to something else. Eminifx was that platform that I moved on to. And it was working well for me for maybe about 2.5, 3 weeks. But of course, uh, the dookie hit the fan and he was arrested. And we're still trying to get information on that. We're still seeking information with that. Last I heard, he was on house arrest and the bail was taken care of. But there's a receivership on the funds that were involved. And I know there's a lot of people that probably had way more invested than I did. And of course, there are people that had way less invested than I did. But I definitely had over $100,000 in Eminifx. And I was hoping that that was going to be a sustainable source of income for me for a long time. You know, some of the things that they talked about getting a part of, real estate. They had just hired somebody to overlook the real estate portion of their company. You know, I was really hoping that this platform was going to last for us for a while, even if it was just an investment club. Just having the opportunity to be a part of it was an amazing thing. And I treated it like any other platform that I was invested in, other than the fact that my trust level allowed me to put more than I would usually put. Yes, I put in over $100,000 in that platform, but I want to mention something that a lot of people are learning, may not still understand, and I say this all the time. I never in Eminifx put more than I was willing to lose. That $100,000, I made a conscious decision in my mind. I said, look, I'm going to put this in for the sole reason of making a certain amount of money per week, per month. If it doesn't work out like that, I got to be prepared for it. So that's the way I went into the Eminifx, and it just didn't happen to work out the way I wanted to. And a lot of people are learning some hard lessons from the school of hard knocks in this space right now. But I'm not discouraged. I'm not discouraged. I've seen way too much in this space to be discouraged. And Eminifx is just one of those bumps in the road that just happened to get a little bit more, it hit a little bit closer to home because it was right here in the United States, and our actual authorities here in the United States went and arrested him. And of course, New York is right up the road from me. I'm in DC. So, this stuff has been pretty crazy to watch, but that was my stance in Eminifx, and where I stand right now is I didn't put any money in there that I wasn't willing to lose. Yes, it was hard to lose $100,000. I will never say that it wasn't, because I had plans for what Eminifx and any other platform that I've been in that have went away. I mean, I lost $100,000 in Eminifx, but the very first platform I went in, I had $30,000 in, right? $30,000 over a span of 3 months. I had just been adding, buying new contracts. There's a company that was around for a little while called Futures Trade. I had over $120,000 in that platform. Yes, most of it was from referral commissions, but when I think about that, I could have withdrew those referral commissions and had them for myself. So I've made some mistakes along the way, and a lot of us have to learn from the school of hard knocks in this very, very risky space. But I do believe that those of us that persevere through those losses, you understand that that's just a rite of passage in this space. And you know, you got to go through it to get to it. And we went through it, but we're getting to it. So that's what I have to say about that.
Well, you know what? To hear that, I love that transparency on that, because that is what people need to hear. Shout out to my guy Steve Woods, and I know this conversation is definitely gonna be right up his alley on this next question, man. Shout out to PC Smith in the building and stuff like that, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Linda Williams in the building. Listen, I know that I still see this, so I'm gonna be quick with this. Still see my little thing going up and down the rainstorm. Listen, I really want you, because you know, people took that loss with Eminifx, and they took it to heart. And you know, some people put everything they possibly had in it. You know, trust me, and my partners had a lot of money placed into that. A lot of we up there with you past where you at, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
it's a part of the nature of the beast.
Yes.
Now there is another one though on a similar platform that's not paying out as much. Could you talk about that one? Novatech, because some people need to know how to bounce back
Yeah.
from Eminifx and keep going. So shout out to you, Steve. I told you I had you covered, man. Go ahead, Jay. Take it away.
So Novatech, right? That is the beast that I feed. And of course, there's several reasons that I enjoy Novatech, but those same reasons that I enjoy Novatech was the same reasons that I liked Eminifx. And to be honest with you, it was promoted to me. It was brought to my attention because I joined Novatech and started talking about my journey in Novatech. Novatech, um, aside from the my own biased reasons that I really like Novatech, I love when Skin Folk is a CEO. I love seeing black folks in levels of power and position, CEOs and CFOs. But on top of that, the leadership has been amazing, and it's going on its fourth year. So when I did the comparison of Novatech and Eminifx, right? And of course, I was told by some of my mentors that, and I asked around about Eminifx, and some of my mentors that were in Novatech, they said, well, Eminifx has been paying, but it's like a carbon copy of Novatech. And I was like, okay, well, there are some things that I like in Novatech that aren't here in Eminifx or any other platform. But the thing I love about Eminifx is I love the fact that it's available still. That's quite honestly my story. When I first joined Novatech, it was not the sexiest thing in the market for me. I had been, like I said, I was in hype land. I was doing hypes. I was having success in hypes. Hype developers were contacting me to promote their hypes and get involved. And so, because they wanted a piece of what Big of Jarrell was providing to the space and the amount of people that were, following my influence, I guess. But when I came to Novatech and I saw it was averaging 3% a week, I was like, man, that ain't where I want to be. But there was a difference in the level that I was at. I didn't have $10,000 at that time to just put in a platform. I didn't understand what compounding can do and the power of compounding and why it's so important in this space and why it can set people up in this space. It's a whole nother story. I think people get so wound up in the thought of compounding that they want to do compounding in every platform they see. And that is not it. That's not it, right? A platform has to earn your compounding trust. That's always been my stance. So with that being said, Novatech has been that thing that I can, and I used to say this all the time, but we never want to fall in love with platforms. But if there is a platform that I definitely am enjoying the most, it's Novatech. And it's because the best ability in this space is availability. If I'm still talking about it and it's May 31st, we're about to jump into June, right? This is the only platform, with the exception of one other, right, that I have been able to talk about since November. I've been able to talk about this platform since November, and it's been around years before then. Here's another reason why I love Novatech, and this is a stat that I just heard. 75% of the people involved in Novatech are passive earners. They are not the people like myself that are sharing these links with everybody in the world or talking about their journeys on YouTube where they have people watching in the masses. They are just people that are interested in a crypto type of hedge fund that they can count on, that has all the different the word is escaping me right now, but the documentation that it needs to be legal in the space that it's working in, has been around, has stood the test of time, and is continuing, even in this crash that we had over the last 2 weeks, is continuing to pay a profit. That is what we look for in the space. That is why there are people that I know personally that have hundreds of thousands of dollars in Novatech. And I believe that that is the same reason why the trust level for Eminifx and some of these other platforms are at a level where people feel like they can put that kind of money, because whether they know this or not, there are other platforms that are really out here doing the right things and that are compliant by the areas that they're in and the way that they're doing business. And that is what Novatech has done. And Novatech has just earned, they have just earned every compliment that I can give to them. We've been in platforms where the support team won't even get in contact with you. They won't be in touch with you. You can't get in touch with them. The support team at Novatech is top notch. The leadership here is dedicated to making sure that all issues are resolved. And that's the kind of stuff that I like, on top of the fact that these are people that look just like me and you. You know, that's another thing that I found very important. I want to be a part of platforms with people that look like me, and not to say that I don't have respect and have love for those that don't, but you know, as a black man in America, I don't know how many people can speak on being one of those, but as a black man in America, the cards are already stacked against us, period. So to see other people that look like us and that are in position of power is only empowering. It lets me know, if it doesn't let anybody else know, it lets me know that there is more work to do. There is greater to be had. There's more that I can do for my family. And Novatech has just allowed me that opportunity to do that. Whether it be high returns, low returns, I'm still getting returns every single week. And the company is continuing to grow. As a matter of fact, it's growing at an exponential rate right now because a lot of the people that watched me have been through a lot of stuff. We've been through a hell of a journey here at BOJ in different platforms that do different things. They come around, they're around for a little while, they all leave in different ways. And Novatech has really just been steady. So that Novatech, man, it was a beast. It is a beast. And that is the beast that I currently feed as often as possible.
You know, you made a powerful statement with that because there was a lot of people were wanting to know the feedback between Eminifx as well as Novatech.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad your clarity of being able to, clarity and transparency of being able to break that down between the two and people deciphering between the two. So we got a question here. Jamal Titus says, so BOJ, are you saying that Eminifx is dead?
In my opinion, yes. Now I say that in this regard. I do not believe that Eminifx will continue. If they come back and do business, they will not be doing business the same way that they were doing it before. So the old Eminifx, the way that we have seen it, is most likely, in my opinion, it's done. My experience in this space, and this is the first time, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever seen an actual person arrested. Like, this is a person that was arrested. They had a court date. You know, all of this stuff is, and take it for what it's worth. I've been in this platform space for about a year now, so I haven't seen everything, but I've seen a lot in the past year. And when platforms have issues even less than this, they're done. So Eminifx has a receivership, which is something completely new to me as well. And from what I understand from a receivership, that means that whoever has the receivership has the funds. They have the money. So, and America don't play. So as an investor, I'm hoping that I see some of that money back. But as far as Eminifx continuing on business the way that we have all known it to continue on business, I don't believe that's going to continue to happen. That's just my opinion. I'm a very patient person, so I'm willing to see how the cards lay out and what happens. We've heard some positive things about Eddie, in that he's now on house arrest. He's no longer in jail. And for that person, I hope the best for him. Honestly, I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't think that he had the intentions of things getting this crazy. But at the end of the day, if you're doing things illegal and you're out here, you're like right across from some big Wall Street buildings out here in New York, you know what I'm saying? Your brand is out here, and then something like this happens, it's hard to bounce back from. We're still waiting on word. I know I'm still waiting on word about what's going to happen. I have emailed the contacts that I have for the receivership. But in my opinion, Eminifx is not coming back, and especially not in the capacity that it was before. That's just my opinion.
Good answer. And I'm gonna say this, Jarrell, man, because a lot of people, man, who don't know this, at Eminifx, and like I said, between me and my partners, they've already, anytime, man, the SEC, man, gets involved with it, you get involved with all of this stuff. They love to stretch the process out for those who got money involved, things are tied in, and all of that. And again, you said it before, and I'm hoping I'm not buffering or nothing like that. But you said it before, man. Anytime you see a black man who's got that much power, and what he was doing, the thing about, I know a little bit more on the backside, Eddie was mostly, so he wasn't leveraging more of the finances. He did lose some stuff, man, in the finance. He was leveraging more on the back end of the real estate and using that as assets to be able to go ahead and fund some of the other things that he was actually doing. Yeah. Well, in that space, people who do know this, Eddie was transparent. Speaking of being able to say, hey, man, we're getting ready to, get into this real estate. We're getting ready to get into this investment. We're getting ready to get into these things. He was very transparent on that. The thing about it is that when the SEC gets involved, if you're saying that you're in an investment company, they want to know the amount that you are promising your people you're investing. And if you're saying that you're investing, you need to show receipts for investing, as far as investing in the crypto and all of this other stuff.
Yeah.
That is, everybody who knows this, this terminology, that's really where you kind of get like commingling the funds, and then you start getting wire fraud, because the wire fraud was actually not meant for this. You're doing other things with it. So again, transparent, but at the same time, you got a snitch came in and decided to say, hey, man, he's making 10% a week, man, off of these people, man. And he was actually doing the numbers between the real estate as well as the investments, more on the lower end on investments, but more on the higher end on the real estate. So for those who are out there, man, and I talked to several other people outside besides you, Jarrell, man, and you actually had some serious receipts. So make sure y'all go check Jarrell's video out with that, man, that had receipts of the receivership and all of that, man, of somebody reaching out to try to get their funds back. I heard in everything, man, they're talking about a 3 to 5 year wait period to get your funds back. Is that true?
I've heard some similar stuff. Nothing concrete, but when you start hearing stuff like that, it's just like, well, I mean, I'll listen for $100,000. Let's be real. I'll wait 3 to 5 years. If that's the process, I'll be patient at 3 to 5 years to get a little bonus, 300, a little bonus, $100,000. But I really mean this when I say it. When I saw Eminifx, regardless of how awesome it was, regardless of the leadership, I knew in the back of my mind to never, ever, ever put anything in there that I was going to be tripping about if it went away. And that $100,000 was just where I was at that time, where I was willing to put that in for the ability to make more. Now, I've said this before. I will lose $100,000 in the pursuit of $1 million. Any day of the week. I will lose $500,000 in the pursuit of $1 billion any day of the week. So I've had to internalize that thought process in myself just to make sure that I'm able to move forward, because there's going to be a lot of people that aren't able to move forward from this experience. There's a lot of people that over leverage themselves, and it's not really you can't necessarily blame them all the way, because we all had the best hopes for these platforms, and Eminifx being one of the particular platforms that we're talking about, and people have lost millions. And I'm hoping that something along this line is able to prove the space wrong, and a platform is able to come back and do what it was doing before. But we've just never seen it. We've never seen it. I know I have personally never seen it, and we're still looking to see something like that happen. However, I believe that Eminifx was a good learning lesson for those of you that were able to be a part of it early and to earn. Congratulations, because the main point of these platforms when we're putting money in is to make sure we get our money back and hopefully we make some more. Eminifx was just dressed up a little bit different. And like you said, it was being transparent to a certain point about what it was doing, but just not transparent enough to keep things moving. And as bad as I feel about that experience and the people that may have had to go through that growing pain and that be their school of hard knocks, I'm still encouraged by this space. It just takes people willing to play the game by the right rules and make a platform earn. A lot of people don't allow a platform to earn a redeposit, right? We jump in, we have a couple of days of success, and we're ready to put some more money in. I've done it. Trust and believe. I've probably done it more than a lot of you. But a platform has to earn our redeposit. We need to be focused on when we put money in, we make sure we get our money back. Period. That's first. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you're sharing the link. I don't care if you're out here, getting your family involved. Whatever you got to do to get your money back, that's what you ought to be doing. After that point, if you're able to do that, then you reward a platform with a redeposit. And I think a lot of us jump the gun. And, I've even done this. I'll jump into a platform with the sole purpose of reverse engineering that platform for a income for myself. If I know that 15 grand is going to get me an income of a certain amount, then I consider putting that in. And Eminifx was one of those platforms I felt that way. I really did. That was the only reason I had, other than the leadership being awesome and it paying out the way it was paying out. Compensation plan was great. And icing on the cake, they had just let a bunch of people come to their office and tour the office. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. However, that just shows you that these platforms are still high risk. No matter how good it looks, it's still high risk. So we have to be on top of our risk management more than ever before. And I believe that if we do that, we can still find a way to either win or bounce back from a learning lesson, because it's not a loss. It's just a learning lesson. You either learned how to move forward or you learned that this space is just not for you.
That was a good answer, Jarrell. You came with that, man. Shout out to you on that, man. So yeah, for those who a lot of people over leverage. A lot of people over leverage. Some people went on ahead, man. They bet the retirement plan. They bet the college fund. They bet, the emergency fund. They bet a lot of stuff on that. But you're averaging 10% a week rather than we've seen on the other end, the one that has the longevity, Novatech, was only averaging 3% a week, and then in some weeks 2% and 1%.
Yep.
And not even 1%, but consistently getting a return a week. It's kind of hard at that point, man.
Yep.
You're getting 10%, between 5 to 10%. So
yeah,
a lot of people turn around and they went to that. Hey, it happens for everybody.
Yep.
But I got a question. Do you think Wagner says WL Tax LLC said, do you think he's going to do some jail time?
Honestly, no. I think what he's already served previous to his bail, that'll probably be the extent of his jail time, in my opinion. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not even I'm not a person that's well versed on the law, especially when it comes down to these type of things like wire fraud and all the things that is alleged that he was a part of. However, I do believe that he has great representation based on what I've heard, and I do believe that whatever he has served up to this point will probably be the extent of his time outside of house arrest and different things of that nature. I don't believe he'll see hard time like some kind of Bernie Madoff situation. I don't think that that's going to happen, but only time will tell. I've been wrong before and I'll be wrong again. That's okay with me. But in my opinion, I don't think that he'll do any serious jail time. No.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to you on that, Wag, for asking that, man, question and stuff like that, dude. Yeah, a lot of people have been wanting to know the direction of, where to go from here at this point, man. I mean, do they start putting all their eggs in? Because I know a lot of people, man, who have signed up for both. They signed up for Eminifx. They signed up for Novatech. And they're actually kind of playing the back and forth. What do they do, Jarrell, in your opinion, man? How do they bounce back? Because that's the whole question to this. Yeah. Not to lick your wounds, not to kind of look up to see what's going on. the legal side of things, Eminifx is going to do that. The court system is going to do that. SEC
Yep.
is going to do that.
Yep.
That's what they do. They stretch it out, especially if they see a black man on here. They're
Yep.
going to stretch it out just a little bit further, cross every I, cross every T and dot every I, just because of that. Where do they go from here, though, man? For those who are out there looking for something, is there something looking to invest in, or are people like putting up their hands like, "Hey, man, I surrender. This stuff is too risky,"
Yeah. So here's my opinion on that. And of course, I have a stance where I don't tell anybody what to do with their own crypto. That has to be a decision that you make based on your own situation, your own goals, and what you want out of your life. So I just show people what I'm doing, and the number one for me has been and is Novatech. Now, I'm not a person that believes in putting all my eggs in one basket. So as far as that's concerned, I mean, I'm in several different platforms right now, from funds. Some of you have seen funds on my channel if you're familiar with my channel. Some of you have seen Novatech, of course. Some of you have seen something called Mint Money. Some of you have seen something called Elevate Pass. And there are more platforms that I'm actually involved in that either one I can't promote on YouTube because of their own rules, and those I keep to a very selective group of people. Some of those platforms that you need a minimum of 50 grand. So everybody don't fit in that category. So for those of you that fit in that category, we can talk about that another day. But Elevate Pass is one that that has been around for me since August of last year, early August, and it's still paying out. It's not sexy at all. It is like the beginner program for all beginner crypto programs. It has been averaging around 1.5% a week, but the best ability in this space is availability, and it has been available. All right. I have over 10 grand in that platform. And I over time got to that point because a platform has to earn, right? Like I said, it has to earn a redeposit. It was a platform that I literally had on the back burner because the returns on it weren't paying enough for me to really be paying a whole lot of attention to it. However, I kept compounding in it. I kept, earning in it, and I kept talking about it every now and then. So there are a few. I keep them all on my channel, but I'd say if I had a top three platforms that I like for a strong bounce back from any platform that has gone away from me, Novatech is number one, without question. Number two is where we can get debatable, where I think at this point now, it's an Elevate Pass. And for those of you that don't know about Elevate Pass, I have a little bit of information on my channel, but you should go check that out. And if I had to choose a number three, because we got to stay diversified, right? Two is okay, but when you can find a few platforms that you really like, and I'm going to give you guys an exclusive because I have not dropped this on my channel just yet. The video is coming. I like to try to learn as much as I can. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. But with this one, there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I really do believe it has legs to last as long as a Novatech has lasted and some more. It's called Pariba. And I haven't done my video on Pariba yet, but it's coming soon. So be on the lookout for that, those of you that are subscribed to the channel. But if I had to pick a top three at this point, knowing what I know, it's Novatech, Elevate Pass, and Pariba. The only order being number one is Novatech. All right. Pariba and Elevate Pass are comparable. They have different things. They're both different platforms. They're built different ways. They have different advantages. However, they have been here for some time, and they don't have, as far as I'm concerned, any plans on going away. So those would be my top three. If I had to put like a bounce back playlist together, that's my bounce back playlist. Novatech, Elevate Pass, and Pariba.
Well, you have got the bounce back playlist everybody's going to be looking into. They're gonna say, "How do you spell Pariva?" You know,
Pariba. So I think it's P-A-R-A-I-B-A.
Pariva. Is that
P-A-R-A-I-B-A.
Pari? Did y'all get that? Let me know who got that, because I didn't see Kanar Haney say spell that, and he say
He said,
Pariva.
Pariba.
Hey, hey, spell it here. You spell it again. I'm gonna type it in.
All right, here we go.
P-A-R.
P-A-R-A-I-B-A.
All right, I'm gonna put it in here, man. Y'all,
don't worry. For those of you
did,
that there we go.
does this look like it?
That's
Did
right.
I get
That's
it?
right. That's it right there.
Okay, Randy turned around. He got it and stuff like that, man. So we
got it.
We put it in there and stuff like that. Okay, we in good shape and stuff like that, man. Because I know it was gonna be official. All right, all right. Steve-O says, man, what about HyperVerse, man? Got a good question.
Man. Woo. All right. You want to know that my journey in HyperVerse, or what I'll just give you a little bit of both.
Give us the journey and don't leave out nothing, man. Talk to us.
So my dad got me involved in HyperVerse. That was his first platform. And I believe there's a lot of people out there where HyperVerse was their first platform. There's their first exposure to not only a platform that worked, but a lot of people had success in HyperVerse. When I got involved with HyperVerse, it was after I was already in the hype space, right? So I was used to whatever crypto I put in, that's what crypto I'm taking out. And with HyperVerse, it was not that case. I was putting in, I believe it was Tether at that time. I put in that Tether, and then to withdraw my earnings, I had to withdraw in MOF or something that wasn't a coin that I was familiar with or was in any of the wallets that I used. So the withdrawal process was just way too daunting for me at the time that I was in. I was still early. I didn't have patience for moving funds from a platform to some wallet like the Who wallet, where I had to turn it into something else and this and that and the third. All of that was too much for me. But there are so many people that made a killing and quite frankly are still optimistic about what's going on in HyperVerse. Now, my experience in HyperVerse was I was doing rebuys. I got to the point where I was doing at least one rebuy. For those of you that don't know what a rebuy is, it's pretty much just compounding in HyperVerse. But I was doing at least one rebuy a day. And in January of this year, I got a new phone and I made a rookie mistake and did not transfer over my 2FA codes before I turned off and reset my old phone. So every platform I was in, it had to have been at least 6 or 7 platforms at that time. I had to reach out to admin and get my 2FA codes reset. HyperVerse was one of the only platforms that never got back to me about resetting my 2FA. Still to this day, I have not heard anything from support at HyperVerse. And I've talked to a few people that are in HyperVerse that have gotten to the point where they've, there's a guy around our way in the DMV. His name is Bitcoin Rodney. He spends most of his time in Miami now, but he's actually from the DMV. He was up to making like over $100,000 a day in HyperVerse. There's some other people that I've met that have made over $40,000-$50,000 a day in HyperVerse, and they look just like us. So I know people had success in that platform, but for me, the timing, I guess, that I was in, it just didn't work out. And with them not getting back to me on my 2FA, I lost access to my account all the way back in January of this year. So it's now May 31st. Who knows where my account is right now? They've gone through transitions to from HyperFund. It used to be called HyperFund. Now it's HyperVerse. And now there's another Hyper out there called Hyper One, which is very comparable in plans and earnings and different things like that, which I believe is just a fish on the name HyperVerse or HyperFund. They're just trying to build some clout. In my opinion, they're just trying to build some clout off of the Hyper brand per se. So I know there's a lot of people still optimistic about HyperVerse. My experience has not been good. And I also heard one of the other leaders, I believe his name is Cal Pesh. He has decided that because he is not getting the type of, and he was a top leader. I don't know all the ranks, but he was a very high ranking person in HyperVerse. He is not getting the type of answers that he wants from leadership, if any answers at all. So he has decided to kind of part ways on his own with HyperVerse and give everyone their he wished everyone their well wishes, but he won't be continuing to promote the project. I don't know if that is something that he actually said, because I also heard that that was someone hacking his stuff and saying that on his behalf. So this crypto space, this crypto platform space, is really hard sometimes to know what to believe. So all I can do is base it off of my personal experience. And my personal experience started off pretty good with HyperVerse, Hyperfund, but I never made a withdrawal from Hyperfund because I never got that whole process down. And I lost access to my Hyperfund due to 2FA issues that I never received a response back from support. So I don't like not hearing back from support. Their whole job is to support us. So when that kind of stuff happens, I don't like it, and it made it very easy for me. As well as this, they also back. I want to say this was probably in the same time frame. They didn't want people putting out YouTube videos about HyperVerse. And that was my whole bread and butter. I was like, I don't have a Telegram group. I don't have a WhatsApp group. I'm exclusively on YouTube. So if I can't talk about it on YouTube, then it's kind of like, what's the point, right? What's the point of me being a part of it? So that was my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion on HyperVerse. It's been a great opportunity for so many people for so long. But now in this time right now, I'm having people contact me from HyperVerse saying, hey, look, HyperVerse was the only thing that I was in for a long time. I had some success, but I've been watching you, and diversification is something that I really, really, really want to take advantage of, especially now that HyperVerse is having some issues. I really want to find something else to be able to count on like I was counting on HyperVerse. So that's my opinion on HyperVerse. Not all bad, but not all good. It's just depends on how long you've been apart, what your stance was, and my stance was I had some money invested. I shared the opportunity as long as I could until they told me I couldn't anymore. And then, of course, I lost access to my whole account due to 2FA that has not been resolved by support. And it was one of the only platforms that did not resolve my issue. So, that's where I am with HyperVerse / Hyperfund.
Wow, man, he didn't broke it all the way down. So, man, shout out to Jarrell, man, has been through the ring. And you guys got to know Jarrell has seen a lot of different things come across this thing. So, if you guys got some serious questions out there, man, when it comes like to investing and exactly some of the different ones, you probably want to go ahead and put it through the chats tonight. Trust me, we're gonna be doing a part 2 with Jarrell.
Oh
Jarrell's
yeah,
got
we're gonna have to. There's so much going on, man.
Yeah, he's got so much to try to even fit this in tonight and stuff like that, and just being respectable, man, for what Jarrell and everything, man, has done, man, just showing up to the broadcast, man.
Of course,
it's
man.
Truly amazing, man. So, yeah, HyperVerse, man. Let me know something, man. I got a question for you, man. What about the Megaverse, man? You ever heard of that? Megaverse.
Megaverse.
I've
never heard of that.
I'm gonna we're gonna make sure that Jamal and Ken kind of talk about that just a little bit. It's more in the sense of the metaverse, and they'll probably like put something in there on that, man, and kind of talk with you about that.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, of course, we're always looking for other opportunities in this space, and we all know that the metaverse, whether people have got around to it or not, is something that is happening right now. Is something that people are not only taking advantage of, participating in, but are making money off of. It is real. It is very real. It's just making sure that you're tied into the right people and the right entities and things of that nature. So I'm always interested in looking at new platforms, new opportunities and stuff like that. So whatever information, I mean, you got my number. They can reach out to me as well, man. I'm game.
Yeah, and we'll put Jarrell's information up towards the end of the broadcast, man. We'll get it going and stuff like that. So, yeah. Shout out to you, PCC man, grand. Thank you, Drew. You got it. Can say, man, thank you. Listen, we there is one for sure that kind of people kind of been asking about, man, and I definitely wanted to put this out here. You know, what is that? COPTS? What? Talk to us about that, man.
COTPS. That's what it is. So COTPS came to my attention from another fellow YouTuber. I think his channel is called Sleep Traders, and he had reached out to me and said, "Hey man, you should check this out. It's like crypto arbitrage, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, cool, I'll check it out." And it was something that, and those of you that know, there was two processes you could be a part of with this platform. You could manually be clicking that button all the time and earn your like 0.3% every few hours, or you can have it on automation. And it really got popular because for those of you that went and took that time to press the button all the time, or got automation on their on their account, they saw their accounts grow at such a high rate, because not only was it like reinvesting and compounding, but it was happening all the time. And 3%, 3.6% a day, 7 days a week, that's powerful stuff. So people were watching their accounts grow. And I was doing the same thing. I started off with $5,000. The first thing that I put out there was, if anybody wants a script, what was told to me is, hey, they have to have a certain amount of money to give the script in. That just makes sure that they're serious, and also they're not wasting your time as a person that's giving you the script. So I was like, okay, cool. We'll put that out, and however it grows, it grows. It just continued to get more popular and more popular and more popular. And that's what happens when platforms last a little while. They just get more popular and popular because they're working for more and more people. So more and more people have positive things to say about it. But it got to a point where it was getting so popular for me, and the work that I had already put in, and sharing the opportunities, sharing this opportunity in particular, I was making close to $10,000 a day just on referrals. So I was at a point where I was like, okay, risk management is telling me I've already made my money back. Anything above this is extra, and I'm happy to receive it. So I had literally stopped my automation. And I told people this. I said, I stopped my automation. It actually stopped on its own because something happened where the software had to be updated, and I just didn't go back in there and restart the contract, restart the automation. So when that happened, I said, well, I'm just going to withdraw every day. I'm just going to hop in, every time I come in, once a day, twice a day, there's like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. It got to the point where, like I said, I was getting where $10,000 a day almost in just referral commissions. So I was like, okay, risk management telling me just pull this money in and diversify, and let's move forward. But of course, a lot of people were either new, or they were just so intrigued by watching their account grow to such a high number that it was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And I fell into it too, just a little bit. But at a certain point, I was like, well, I've been in this space long enough to know these platforms don't last a whole lot of time. And I wanted to feed my beast. My beast is Novatech. So at that time, I was like, look, and a lot of people don't know this, but I was able to make a good amount of money in a few platforms that I was able to not only fund my Novatech account with $100,000, but I was able to fund my father's Novatech account with over $100,000, which was something that I really wanted to do. But back to COTP, I just think that it really got a lot of people excited. It was simple. And when it left, and some people think it still could come back because they believe that this was a hack. They've seen documentation that the wallet that it came from still has millions of dollars in it. So they believe that they'll still be able to pay people out. But just because a platform is able to pay you out doesn't mean that it's going to. And let's remember that the whole purpose of a HYIP, and we don't know if COTP is officially a hype. I guess you can call it that now, but there's no telling when a platform is going to just decide that it's got enough money, we're out of here. And they'll blame it on some Chinese hack. They'll blame it on anything that they can find in the world. I mean, this market crash was the perfect thing to blame a platform failure on. It's just the fact that COTP was so popular because it was working for a good amount of time. And even people that were not interested in these crypto platforms found COTPS to be something that they wanted to try. And that's just the risk we take in this space. A lot of people will come into these platforms for the first time not really wanting to internalize that they could lose whatever they put in. And that is why I believe a lot of people were so distraught about COTPS, on top of the fact that they were watching their accounts grow at an exponential rate that you would never, ever see your bank account grow at. Not a savings account, not a CD, not nothing like that. So with that being said, COTPS was a great run. It was a great ride. And I'm fortunate to not have rode the wave as deep to not make a profit. And it was funny because it seemed like a few days before it stopped paying, I was telling people that I was personally pulling everything out, whatever I had in there from referrals. I'm just taking it out every day. And I suggest that those of you that had not made your money back, please go and withdraw. Please go and get your money. I had said that, and some people reached out to me and said, "Hey, bro, you saved me in the nick of time." And some people reached out to me and said, "Hey, man, I wish I had listened to your advice. I know you're not a financial advisor, but I wish I would have at least listened to that suggestion." So that was just how that worked out. And it's sad, but we've seen stuff like this over the past year happen so many times. And it really just brings people to a crucial decision point. Is this for you or is it not? But you got to make the decision, because the longer you sit on the bench, the more splinters you get in your butt. So you got to either decide to go home, go and take your ball home and not play, or decide to go and jump in the game. So I believe that COTP was just one of those platforms that allowed people that opportunity to decide whether this is for them or not for them.
Wow. Jarrell, man, you really went ahead and broke that down, and I'm glad that you put that out there, man. For those, if you could have helped save somebody out there, I'm glad that you put that out there, because a lot of people need to know exactly when to actually jump off the ship once it's actually sinking. Some people will ride that bad boy all the way down until the middle of an abyss, and it's just going crazy.
Yep.
So shout out to you. Shout out to my guy Kennard Haney. Kennard Haney say, "Thank you, Lambo Drew." Shout out to you. Kennard Haney say, "I love Bank of Jarrell's perspective. I don't feel bad about my experiences after hearing his journey. I'm encouraged by hearing this."
Shout out to you, Kennard, man. I've been saying this recently. It gets greater later. It gets greater later. And it just takes a little bit of perseverance. Don't be afraid to share your experiences, whether they're negative or positive. Share them with people. Share them with the masses. You never know what could happen, whether it's just somebody else learning a lesson or you being able to just inspire people to take that journey and leap of faith with you. That is just the biggest thing that I've learned in this space, because there's a lot of people that do YouTube videos. There's a lot of people that talk about things when they're good. But when things go bad, you can't find them brothers no more. You can't find them no more. You're gonna be able to find me, and we're gonna ride these waves out together, because I feel now that it's almost like my personal responsibility to bridge this gap between folks that are looking for a way and those that have found a way. It just takes that bridging of the gap and of information transferring and understanding that, hey, you lost, I lost too. It's okay. We can bounce back from this. It may not be bouncing back the same way. You may have to go and put your toes in the sand for a little while and get grounded again. But after you do that, have a goal, go at it in a different way, attack it a different way. Remember the rules of this space because they are very blatant, and you never know what could happen, man. But I see success in this space, and even crypto as just a whole. Even if you're just a person that's buying and holding, if you have that discipline, because I know I don't, I don't have that buy hold discipline. But for those of you that do, I still believe that it gets greater later. So we're in the right space at the right time.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, shout out to Kennard, man. He's always, man, doing some great things and answering some stuff. I love the transparency of that. Then Jamal Titus comes back with the laughing emojis. The more splinters you get in your butt.
That's right. I got some other words, but I'm gonna keep it PG for right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it PG for right now. But you get the gist. Either you go ahead and play in the game, or you take your ball and go home. But don't sit there on the bench and complain on the bench, because that's all that's gonna happen. That wood bench gonna put some splinters in your tail, and you're gonna be worse off than whether you went out there and learned from experience or tucked your tail and went home and decided it wasn't for you. You know, make a decision. That's the biggest thing. Make a decision.
Yeah. Well, some people they will make the decision that once something happens, it's a wrap. They see the market turn. That's it. It's all right.
That's a part of risk management. We can't just because we're able to jump in these over and over again because of the work that we're putting in, that doesn't mean that's for everybody. There's people that tell me all the time, it's not for me to have a YouTube channel. And my response for that is, okay, well, if it's not for you, I'm not living off of what I think is for me. I'm living off of what God has placed in front of me to use. And if this is one of those things that he's put in front of me to use, it's my responsibility to be a good steward over that. So it ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
Like I've heard and said before, we still need folks to bag groceries at the grocery store. Yeah. We still need valet. We still need Orkin men to come and do pest control. We still need all of these services as we continue to live our lives here on this planet. So everyone is destined for a different thing. But man, is this, if you're willing to play by the rules, can this space be an exciting thing?
Yeah. And that's what we love to hear. And that's what my wife said. You had such an amazing experience and you still have positive vibes. Well, you had such an experience and you still have positive vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it ain't always been easy. You know, I've been a network marketer since I was 19. I'm 29 right now. So those of you that know about network marketing, if you ever want to be told no in your life, do network marketing.
Yeah.
Do that, because you will have more people tell you no than you ever could imagine. And it was going through that process where I had to truly decide that I believe in something enough to deal with whatever no's I get from anybody. And it'll be the closest people in your life. It'll be I remember having arguments with my old girlfriends. Like, I had visions of us crossing stages together. They couldn't see that, you know? So of course it didn't work out. And now I got the wife of my dreams who believes in what we got going on and now gets the benefit from it. Yeah. She gets the benefit from it. She's got my card tied to every shopping apparatus you can find. Goodness gracious, you wonder why I do 3-4 videos every day.
Oh, I can't laugh too much, man. You keep me going, man. But it's facts, man. That's what it is. Happy wife, happy life, man.
And sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying. That's the honest reality of the situation. I've lost tens of thousands of dollars in these platforms, but I blatantly try to learn a lesson in every single loss. So I don't take it as a loss. I don't lose anymore. My losing days are done.
Yeah.
They're done. My mentality doesn't allow me to lose anymore. Now, if it's equatable to a loss, it's just a learning lesson.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to get to that space. It takes going through some things and understanding that, you know what, I went through that, but now that I look around, I'm okay. I still got people that love me. I still got breath in my body. I still got the ability of my limbs, you know. And those of you that don't know, my mother's a quadriplegic. So I lived my whole life from the time I was 3 years old, being grateful for the fact that I could just get up and walk.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
alone be an athlete and run in some times in my life. You know what I'm saying? So my perspective is not going to be everybody's perspective. I'm just a positive dude. I've seen so much negativity in this world that none of this crypto stuff could make me that negative. You know what I'm saying? People lose their lives every day off of senseless stuff. And I'm able to sit here in front of a camera and talk to people that look like me and that are wanting just to be successful.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
dream. That's
Yeah.
a dream. So in all aspects, whether I got money or not, you know, I got breath in my body. I got enough to be grateful for. That's just how I am. So,
you know, and you saying that in this season that I've been in, and me and Jarrell, we have talked in this season that I've been in these last few weeks, months. I've learned to be more grateful than whatever you have in your bank accounts.
that's right.
You learn to be grateful over your health more than anything.
That's
And
right.
shout out to Jarrell for pretty much taking the 90% of this thing, this making sure like, Drew, I got you, man. Don't worry about it, man.
Right.
So I can get through this so we can bring some great content for you guys tonight, man. Kennard Haney say, man, 3M says the same thing with the fire emojis.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy, Kennard, man, always in the building doing some stuff.
Yes, sir.
WLT Tax Services says, I'm a huge fan of Bank of Jarrell. Thank you to you both, Sir Drew. The best show on earth, if you ask me.
Shout out to WLC Tax Service LLC in the building. Can I do this? Let's clap it up for him.
You know you can do it. You know you should have been doing them sound effects, man. That's what we love about you, man. We love you, and I'm gonna let you go with your sound effects and let you keep just drumming them out, man, like a drum machine.
That's the one I know. That's the one I know I can press, and I know what's gonna happen. The rest of them, it's kind of like Russian roulette. I can press one and not necessarily. You know, that there's some cricket noises now. I didn't even know that was going to happen. So, you know, I'm learning as I'm going. You know,
hey, we love it, man. At this point, listen, I know your time is short, man. The wifey is there. You got friends and family.
She's actually looking at me at the door, right?
I don't worry about it. We getting ready to go, y'all. So we getting ready to end it up. So you guys don't even worry about it, man. Jarrell turned around, gave us over 90 minutes, man. So shout out to Jarrell, man, on here. Bank of Jarrell, man. Kennard said, okay, I love you, Lambo Drew. I love Jamal. I said I love Ronnie Lambo. I love everyone on the show, and I love you, Bank of Jarrell, too, now.
Hey, man, love you too, Kennard. Thanks for tuning in. And you already know I'm going to be back on the Lambo Drew show.
Yeah.
You already know.
Yeah, it's official, man. So you already know. Kennard said, what was your first network marketing experience of Bank of Jarrell?
So my first network marketing experience was in the deregulated energy market, and that was with a company called Stream Energy. That was my very first, and they are now owned by ACN now. A lot of people have heard of ACN. So they're ACN now. So I still have ties. I'm still involved with the leadership there. I actually was a leader in that company. I was doing in-person presentations, at least portions of them. So that was my first network marketing experience. And I wasn't Bank of Jarrell then. I was just Jarrell.
Hey, so shout out to him, man. Hey, we had to start sometime and everything, man, with that.
That's right.
For real, man. WLC Tax Services say, man, thank you guys, man. You know, that's love, man. Listen, I want y'all to make sure you guys go and follow Jarrell, man, right here on YouTube, man. Please follow on YouTube at Bank of Jarrell. Follow on YouTube at Bank of Jarrell. That's my guy, man. He is literally putting out some major content, man. Major content. If you guys have not seen, I mean, Jarrell has like thousands of videos. So I'm serious. He's got like thousands of videos. So shout out to him. He put out a lot of videos throughout the week and lets you know how the platforms actually come up, what happens with the platforms, man, if they're doing successful, if they're not paying out or whatever the case may be. He's literally doing a lot of stuff. So y'all make sure y'all go like, follow, and subscribe to the channel of Bank of Jarrell. Yes. I'm telling you, you guys will not be disappointed. Y'all going to definitely love all the content actually out that he's bringing out here, man. Shout out to you guys, man. Kennard say, no way did he deregulated energy as well.
Yeah, man, it was genius. I mean, people have a choice in who they get their energy from. I mean, there's so many people that were just paying their incumbents whatever they told them to pay them. So now you're giving people a choice. That was a no-brainer for me at 19, and I didn't even have an energy bill at that time. I didn't have an energy bill in my name. And I was like, everybody pays energy. It's a life essential service. I still feel this way, as you can tell. You know, as you can tell, I still feel this way. I still think it's genius, but it is what it is, and we're in a different space now. But that's something that's still going on. So I'll leave that there. I'll just leave that there.
Shout out to you, man. My guy Steve Stack say great stuff, man. He's definitely
Thank you, man.
An advocate, man, of Novatech, man. Been putting people on. And before, man, just letting people know the real deal. So shout out to my guy Steve Wood, man, in the building, man. Knew he would love this broadcast with you, man, coming on. And you're giving some great insight, man, of what's going on, man.
Awesome.
Jamal Titus. Yeah, Jamal Titus said another great show, Lambo Drew. Thank you, Bank of Jarrell.
Of course. And we're gonna do this again. So don't think you just seen me tonight and you ain't gonna see me no more.
No. Actually, so for those who don't know, Kennard Haney said, I knew I liked you. Don't listen. Thank you, Jarrell, for coming tonight, man. My wife, he said, man, shout out to you, man. Shout
out to the wifey. Happy wife, happy life club right here.
Yes, indeed, man. If we don't, man, I'm telling you, my wife has carried me through these last 2 months, man, almost. So shout out to her, man, her and the kids, man. Kennard Haney said another fantastic show. Shout out to you, man. I got an opportunity for you, Bank of Jarrell. Bitcoin mining with direct sales.
Oh, Lord, you sounding like about 500 other people in my inbox. Come on now. You sounding like about 6,000 other people in my emails. No, that's all right. My email is bankofjarrell@protonmail.com. I'm always looking at new opportunities. So if you ever have anything to share with me, I'll take a look. I'll let you know if I've seen it in the space or not. If I'm interested or not. Like I said, well, I haven't said this on the show, but I don't join everything. I don't join everything now. I don't want to stretch myself too thin. But if I do believe that it's a good idea based on some of the things that I've seen, and you are the first person to share it with me, then of course I'll take a look. And if I decide to join, then, and of course I'm not breaking any rules by sharing my journey on YouTube, because sometimes that matters. Then let's rock and roll. I'm about cranking out that crypto, and however we do it, that's how we do it.
That's how we get down. Listen, that email right there is on the screen. bankofjarrell@protonmail.com. bankofjarrell@protonmail.com. Y'all need to go ahead, man, hit Jarrell up, man, on anything. Email him to that email address. I'm telling you guys right now, Jarrell definitely responds to all the thousands of people that hit him up, man, and they follow him on a weekly basis, dude. The dude is the truth, man. I'm only going to bring the best to the show. I want you guys to be the best. It's somebody who looks like us. The sad part about it is that we have a lot of other platforms that empower a lot of other people, but not our people. And I wanted to make a platform that actually empowers our people that look like us, but empowers everybody else who do decide to learn if the information is there. So again, we're ecstatic about you for what you have did. You come to the broadcast, you gave us over 90 minutes. The wifey's looking at you. We are wrapping up right now. You saw me give it up. Yeah, you give it a finger. We are wrapping up right now.
I'm coming.
So I know how that is, because Jarrell actually does have guests over tonight, and he was able to squeeze us in. Don't worry about it, man. We're gonna try to get Jarrell back on the broadcast next week, man.
Oh yeah, you ain't got to try. This is a guarantee. You'll see me again.
Well, we had decided I wasn't gonna say that, but since we just said that now,
I ain't say when.
Yeah, look, we're gonna see him again, man, and we're gonna make it happen, man, with Jarrell, man. So shout out to you, man, Jarrell, for coming on to the show again. Remember, go like, subscribe, man, to Bank of Jarrell, man, on YouTube, man, and please email him, man, at bankofjarrell@protonmail.com. You guys have any questions and stuff like that, man, they want to get a hold. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have an awesome week. Anything else you want to say to the people, Jarrell, out here tonight?
Hey, man, I want to say this, and it's not cliche. It may sound cliche. Please put your 2FA on all the platforms and wallets that you got, because crypto is indeed the wild, wild west. And if you don't want to get hacked, you better stay strapped with that 2FA. The second thing if you're going to play in this space, please, 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 please never invest or deposit or put anything in anything that you are not willing to lose completely, period. All right. That's it. And follow Bank of Jarrell on YouTube.
Awesome. Shout out to you, man. Well, you know what? That's the end of our show. My man Kennard Handy said, subscribe to your YouTube channel. It's done. That's what I want to hear from everybody, man. You guys have subscribed to the channel. Y'all guys have did something. WLC Tax Service. Good night to you all. Shout out to you, man. Wag, man. That's my guy in the building, man. You know, we thank y'all guys. Listen, we literally are not out of message, but we definitely out of time. So we literally got to let y'all go. Y'all have an awesome, safe, wonderful week, man. We'll be back here, man, on this broadcast, same time, same bad station. Next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, man. Bringing you guys, dropping you guys more heat, man, next Tuesday night, man. Let's make it happen. We out of here, me and Jarrell. Y'all peace out, man. Make the broadcast happen again and do some things, man, tonight, all right? Thank you all for you all who will join. Later, y'all.
Later.